Hello ladies and gentlemen, this video will be for you for year 2025, analysis of your ascendant from sidereal and also from tropical modern astrology perspective. So for example, if you would have ascendant sidereal ascendant Aries, your tropical ascendant will be Taurus. If you don't know at what time you were born, then you apply the moon sign. So it would be moon in Aries. Sidereal astrology would correspond to moon in Taurus, tropical modern astrology. So this will be how I will be looking at the 12 ascendants. Also, why we look at the ascendants? Because this, according to the ancients, very ancient tradition, the Ascendant is the house of life. This is more important even than the lunar sign or than the solar sign. So we derive the horoscope first from your rising sign, from your ascendant. So this is how I will be looking at your ascendant and your future year 2025. And of course, what I will do is I will be looking at the most important transits. They are so very important for year 2025. And of course, we'll be looking at the eclipses. They are also very, very important because in year 2025, the lunar nodes change positions and also with themselves, they take the eclipses. Also, we're looking at a major conjunction of trans-Saturn planets and so on. So this will be a general analysis of your future for 2025. If you want to have very specific, very detailed reading with me, which will include primary directions, which will include the method of Time Lords techniques, which will include progressed horoscopes and solar revolution, then you may like to book a personal reading with me. And for year 2025, you can find a reading with a discount, which is valid for the month of December and also January. So if you want to have discounted reading, detailed analysis of your future and of your natal horoscope, you may book such reading with me. So let's hear now your ascendant, description of your ascendant and the future of 2025 for you. Hello ladies and gentlemen with sidereal ascendant Virgo. Sidereal Virgo or moon in Virgo, in case that you do not know at what time you were born. So sidereal Virgo ascendant or moon in Virgo, or if you're following the modern tropical astrology, your ascendant would be Libra or moon in Libra, in case that you don't know at what time you were born. So where to start from? Interesting things are happening for your ascendant Virgo. First of all, something positive. I see this as a positive development. The lunar nodes are changing their locations. Now as we speak, end of November 2024, already since October of last year, the lunar nodes are on the axis of Virgo, Pisces. So you have the tail of the dragon, who is Ketu, and the head of the dragon, who is Rahu. As you know, they symbolize a big dragon who is cut into two pieces, head and tail. And astronomically, these are the 2 points where the moon is crossing or intersecting the path of the sun, the ecliptic. So these are the two lunar nodes, Rahu and Ketu. Ketu is on your ascendant in Virgo since 1 year already, since October. And Rahu is in Pisces. So this way, Ketu, who is on your ascendant already for quite some time, and Rahu on your descendant, are bringing with themselves the eclipses. So next year we also have 4 eclipses, but not all eclipses take place on this axis. Only 2 eclipses take place on your axis of ascendant descendant. This is because on 30th of April the lunar nodes move out of your ascendant descendant and they will occupy the axis of Aquarius Leo, which is the axis of your 6th and 12th houses. And this is something positive for you, because I see always the presence of lunar nodes on ascendant and descendant of people as something heavy, because this is always very transformative, because this automatically your ascendant, which is house of life, which is you, your own ideas, your own personality, perceptions, desires, everything which is about you is undergoing change when you have the lunar nodes on ascendant descendant, and with this the eclipses. So on 30th of April the lunar nodes are moving out, but still 2 eclipses will be taking place on your ascendant and descendant, which means what? Which means a little bit lighter feeling. You are really, you will be relieved, because especially Ketu on the ascendant will bring back, and still is bringing back, some karma from the past to pay, which is always related to some challenging experiences. Now, since we started with the eclipses, just briefly to tell you the dates of the eclipses. In year 2025, we have 2 total solar eclipses and 2 partial lunar eclipses. 15th of March lunar, 29th of March solar, 7th September lunar, 21st September total solar. The first one is on the axis of Virgo Pisces, the second one Aquarius Leo, and then again in September, 7th September, the first one is on the axis of Aquarius Leo, and the second one is influencing the axis of Virgo Pisces. So you will still be experiencing this influence, you will still be experiencing changes in your life related to your own perceptions. Could be also your career to be involved, relationships, in many important areas of your life. Just therefore, I want to emphasize on the following. Around the days of the eclipses, I advise you in particular not to make important decisions or very important actions or very important negotiations or very important medical work if you can, because these eclipse portals, these eclipse corridors, sometimes we call them, are portals for change, and only after the eclipses you know where you're heading, you know what the universe has for you. That's why if the first one is on 15th of March and the second one on the 29th of March, the whole month of March, don't do so many important things. Wait and see. Maybe one door will be closed, another will be opened, and it will be in your benefit. The same 7th September, 21st September, the whole month of September, try not to be very active, try not to start very important new beginnings. This will be in your benefit. Also, another important situation we have, which of course is influencing your ascendant in particular. This is classical for our era. The point, it has to do with the beginning of the new lunar year, which is not happening on 1st of January. This is the solar year, but the ancients looked differently, very differently, at astrology and predictions and predictive techniques. Therefore, they would emphasize more on the lunar calendar, and so do we. So the lunar year begins after the moon appears, after the sun enters the point of the equinox. For our era, the two equinoxes are on the axis of Virgo Pisces. This automatically emphasizes on your ascendant and your descendant. So Pisces as a sign is very important because of the Christ consciousness, because of the spirituality and the which Pisces means, because of the karma that the humanity needs to pay collectively. So Pisces becomes very important related to the era of Christ, the Christ consciousness, and with this is also Virgo, your ascendant. These 2 points where we have the equinoxes, the spring and the autumn equinoxes, we call tropical points. And classically, every time when the sun enters the point of the one of the equinoxes, which is Pisces, after that the first appearance of the moon is the beginning of the new year, the new lunar year. This year, when after the sun is entering Pisces, we have interesting conjunction of planets, you know, Venus, Mercury, Neptune, the sun, all are in Pisces, and the first appearance of the moon is on your 8th house, which is Aries. This way Aries becomes very important. We need to give specific attention to Mars, who is ruling Aries. So Mars and the movements of Mars are important for us, for the collective, and also for your horoscope. Nevertheless, you know, of course, we're not forgetting the influence of Mercury, who is ruling your ascendant. So, of course, this is very important. So, Mars, speaking about Mars, as we speak now, actually until January, Mars will be in, actually until 17th of January, Mars will be on your 11th house, fallen. This is interesting because from 7th to the 16th of January, the retrograde Mars will be on your 11th house in a specific phase called the chronicle rise. This way Mars is not very harmonious. He is a little bit angry when he is in phase a chronicle rise in 11th house, fallen or detrimental. This would say that when it comes to social circle, your connections, gains, you may need to be a little bit careful, because this Mars is a little bit unpredictable and he can bring situations of disharmony. Also, when you communicate with children, you may need to be very patient, loving, diplomatic, intuitive. So, on 17th of January, the retrograding Mars is entering again, going back into Gemini, which is your 10th house. There Mars is not as difficult as he is in Cancer. In Gemini, he will be influencing your occupation, your highest goals, your career place. And this is until 7th of April. 17th January to 7th of April, Mars will be on your 10th house. This is something important, and it shows that you may be very driven to new career goals, to career ideas, but you also may need to be careful and diplomatic and stay away from conflicts or disharmonious situations with superiors. This is very important for you. Also, this is because Mars is ruling your 8th house. He is ruling also the 3rd house. Be careful when you communicate with brothers and sisters, when you do commercial activities. Stay away from any conflicting situations, also such which involve finances. On 24th of February, Mars is becoming direct, and this is very near the star Sirius. And this is royal benevolent star. This would say that Mars actually, with his direct motion and emphasis on this star, can even be positive. He can even be indirect, you know, because Mars when retrograde is not very easy. So when he will be direct in Gemini, he most probably will be able to bring something new, like new idea, new project, something very drastic and new, even new solution, new project, new something new, uh, or somebody who can support or cooperate with you, something like that. Then on 7th of April, Mars, who's direct, is entering Cancer again. There he will be until 8th of June. And again, 11th house matters. Be a little bit careful how you deal with children, with making financial decisions, also with friendships and so. But we're going now too far. I want to go back to follow some timeline. So let's look at, we are already in April. So let's look at Saturn. Saturn is, as we speak, Saturn is in Aquarius. This is your 6th house. And he's been there for almost 3 years. On the 6th of April, Saturn is leaving your 6th house. This will happen on 6th of April. 6th house in astrology is related to health. It is related to your routine, eventually the everyday job you do, also the people that share your routine environment. So Saturn, you know already what he means for you in Aquarius. He already brought lots of changes in your routine, maybe changes related to health. Also, he maybe tested your health, so you still need to be very responsible for your health. On 6th of April, Saturn, who will be invisible at that time, is entering Pisces. And when he will enter Pisces on 6th of April, he will meet there Venus and Neptune and Mercury. But he will still not be visible. He becomes visible on 30th of April, and then you will feel more of his presence and influences. 7th house matters. Still, this would say that he may influence your romantic life, relationships, agreements, cooperations, business, entrepreneurship, visible enemies. All these areas can be influenced by, first of all, Rahu is there, you know, who is leaving on 30th of April. And secondly, Saturn becomes visible on your 7th house, and this is something not to underestimate. There, Saturn will also be working his job to fulfill the karma for you, but now in Pisces, more on a subtle level, on a very delicate level, sometimes a little bit mean, because we will not always be able to understand Saturn in Pisces. This would say really that he may be for the next 3 years after he enters Pisces, especially after 30th of April, he probably will be testing your relationships, your romantic life. Also, he can have impact on some of your agreements, contracts, and so you may need to be very, very diplomatic, very, very intuitive and careful. Also on the 19th of May, Jupiter is changing sign as well. He's entering your 10th house. 19th of May, he's entering Gemini. This could be positive for you. Yes, you say Jupiter is a little bit weak in Gemini because there he's fallen. He is, but still, wherever Jupiter is, this is blessing. Jupiter in Gemini. He will bring blessing and some relief on your career. He will not be very much supporting your 7th house, your relationships, because he is not very powerful in Gemini. He rules your 7th house. Therefore, you may need to be diplomatic, careful, intuitive, like I told you, with people, communicating, romantic life, and so on. On 6th of June, Jupiter becomes invisible, and basically until 14th of July, You will be missing him a little bit. This is period of time when he will not be very supportive because he will be invisible. But on 14th of July, he is becoming visible for the first time on in the 13th degrees of Gemini. And then you feel the blessing. Immediately you feel some support in your career. On 30th of July, when Mars will enter actually, on 9th of, no, from 8th of June, Mars is entering Leo until 30 July. 30 July, Mars will also be on your ascendant in Virgo. Watch out a little bit how you communicate in your romantic life, how you travel. Make sure that you stay very balanced, very spiritual. Because when Mars enters Virgo on 30th of July and he will stay there until 9th of August, he will make opposition to Saturn and Neptune, and this is a little bit heavy. So you may need to be a little bit careful indeed. So on 25th of August, Mars becomes invisible right on your ascendant. This way, Virgo, this way he's taking away with himself maybe some aggressive, maybe something which Mars represents. He rules the third house. Third house is brothers and sisters. He can maybe eliminate some aggressive situation. He becomes invisible. He takes with himself what he represents. He becomes more strategic, but also more impulsive, and becomes more unclear when he will be invisible, right on your ascendant. That's why you may need to be a little bit careful around this period. So let me repeat for you. On 25th of August, Mars is turning invisible. 1 second so that I'm not making a mistake. Yes. So because of this opposition that he'll be forming to Saturn and Neptune on your 7th house, make sure that with your partner you be very forgiving also. Don't forget to be forgiving. So this is quite important. Then on 9th of December he's entering your 4th house, which is Sagittarius. There he's not very bad. Mars actually is not uncomfortable in the 4th house, because this is house which represents actually the winter solstice, which he loves. And also there he's really not bad, but he's squaring 7th house, your ascendant. He's a bit disharmonious. Mars being very important and having these strategic placements can be a little bit annoying. So if you feel a little bit nervous, a little bit disharmonious, just do some spiritual practice. Pray, connect with nature, and all this will go. The remedy for Mars is Venus. This is love. Love. This is response to Mars, because also mythologically they are husband and wife, as Inanna and Nergal. Now, saying this, let's look now at another important development, and this is on 12th of July. Something which is important for every one of us. Saturn and Neptune stationary make conjunction. This I checked historically. This is related to very important historical events for us, for the humanity. This conjunction happens to you on your 7th house. When I checked the historical events which this conjunction brought, these historical events were very important, like even changes of social system, revolutionary changes. This is your 7th house. New agreements, change of something, like leaving something to start something over, agreements, entrepreneurship, businesses. Some enemies can be activated, and they will go for new beginning to to start for you. Even this can have impact on your relationships in a romantic sense. So this is something very important. July, 12 July, 14 July is a little bit critical time for you in your horoscope. Also, on this is far, of course, but on 9th of November, Saturn retrograding is going back into Aquarius, where he will stay until end of November, and then he goes back into Pisces. How to read this? This can have impact again on your routine work. On he can remind you of the changes that he already meant for you, related to your career, to your routine, and also most probably he gave you lots of knowledge related to health in general. Then a few dates to tell you about Venus, which are interesting. On 18th of April, she's entering your 7th house, Pisces, to stay there until 1st of June. During this period, she will support your romantic life, but she's not alone, so things are a little bit complex. That's why still be careful, be diplomatic, be loving, because when she will be entering Pisces, she will be there with the invisible Saturn, with Neptune, with Mercury, your ascendant ruler. So this is slightly disharmonious. On 1st of June to 30 June, so one full month, Venus is in your 8th house. She's fallen, but she can be benevolent for finances via partnerships, finances via unexpected sources, and so this can be useful for you. On 30th of June, Venus will be in Taurus. This is your 9th house. Then there she will make conjunction with Uranus. Jupiter at that time will not be there anymore. So Venus and Uranus will be having conjunction for 1 month. This can be very fruitful for you, for your studies, even for travel, for communication, for spiritual work, for new studies, new philosophies, and so. And then when is this? 27th of July. From where is this? This is from 4th of July to 27th of July. She's on your 10th house to support career and so. And interesting also is the period where she's very powerful, and this is where she'll be in Libra from 3rd of November to 27th of November to support your finances. This is very good. So this is more or less about the most important celestial events which will take place in the year 2025. Of course, this is not all. If you want more details and very detailed analysis of your horoscope, then usually I use the technique of primary directions, time lords, progress horoscope, solar revolution, many other techniques which we can do in case that you want to have personal reading with me, and these details you'll find under this video. I wish you all the best. I hope you have interesting in a very good way year 2025, and see you soon. Bye bye.